Okay, we're going to work on part B and part X and probably part C too. So we did part A in the last video, and just to refresh, remember that it's the basic motor. So we did that in the last one. So the parts we're going to do today are the transition out of that. So it goes like this. Okay, so slow, it's part B. So let's look at that shape for a second in the other window. Okay. So let me put in, I'm going to put in the other. So this is the second part. Let's go to part B. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, let's get the flats in there. Okay. So here we've still got our basic motor shape on the left here. Okay. And then here it's really just, you're kind of just doing a little bit of rhythm, mainly with B. So with the B flat here. So this is on, if it's match reciprocal, this is on your 8th fret on the 3rd string. So the third highest string. Anyway, 3rd string. And then you throw in a D every once in a while. So let me play that slow and you can see how it works. Okay. So you have your A that you're going to transition out of. See how I'm switching I'm doing this to repeat the note. It gives it a little bit more of a fluid feel than if you just go doing, making that flow and just tapping with one finger is, very difficult to do. So using 2 fingers is the better way to go, right? So notice on my right hand I'm kind of moving a little bit like what Greg Howard goes up fret and down fret with that, right? So at first just do that and don't even play the D. That's all just playing B flat. You're just playing B flat and you're just doing it as like a counter rhythm to what's going on in your left hand there, right? And so that's what gives it the interest. The interest is the rhythm. And then you can add in the D, which is a 3rd above that. So that's like the first 2 notes of B flat major there, right? That's what you're doing. So you go. So that's the B part right there, right? So I'll do it one more time slower. Okay, so notice when I do that D, I'm going, and then I do, when I'm about to lead into doing that D embellishment, I use my my second finger twice. So watch, so that I can hit with my first finger, right? So when you're doing it, just the B flat, you're leading with your first finger, and you're going between first, second, first, second, first, second, and then in the bar right before you're going to do the D, you go first, second, second, and then you hit the D with your first finger, right? So that's a little, you know, that takes a little bit of practice to get down, but if you do it that way, it sounds much smoother than if you try to, you know, do it some other way, right? If you try to use that second finger, you know, because you'll be off, and you know. Anyway, so that's why. So I'll play it and you'll see what I mean, right? So. Double tap with my second finger right before I do the D, right? So leading with your first finger on the B flat, and then you do that double second finger on the B flat before you do the D. Okay? That's the only tricky part about this phrase. From there, you go into, so you like maybe play that 2 or 4 times or something like that. It's just up to you. And you know, once you get good at it, you can do a little bit of embellishment on it too. The next thing you go into is the X patterns, and that is like, okay, so that was the B. So let's now do, like, you know, let me show you the X pattern here in the next one. Okay, so it's just called the X pattern because after B and then C, or you play the X in between the B and C. So if you're like, and you can just mix all these sections that I'm calling A, B, and C in with each other, and I typically like do X in between the other ones, right? So that's why I just call it like a little transition riff. Okay, so here's I'm going to load the X one in the fretboard diagram, and you can take a look at it. Okay, let me put in, there's an extra note that should be in here, and that will be here. Okay, so here is the same B flat right here that we're using in A, in in B, in section B that we were just doing, right? So here's the same B flat, and then and you're doing that in combination with A, and then the third note is either F or G. You can just intersperse those in when you're doing it, right? So it'll be like, so it'll sound like this. That's using F, the third note being F there, right? And then you can alternate that with, which is the G. Use your third finger for that. And see how when you hold it down, it gives you a really nice ringing between the two sides. It's like almost like a polychord almost, right? So that last note, you're hitting them both at the same time, the bass and the melody. So let me go back to the window here, to the camera. Okay, so let's do it really slow. So notice I'm doing those. I'm doing pull-offs there, and you don't have to, but you can mentally you can think, okay, when I'm synchronizing those pull-offs between the two hands, and that's how you can anchor what the interplay is, right? So you go. Sounds a little weird when it's that slow, and I'm playing it very aggressively, which you wouldn't do. You would be playing it a little bit more smooth and legato, but I'm just doing that so you can hear the definition in the interplay there. Okay, right? So. And then the addition is you can play that right hand the same way, but instead of you play, which is just up 2 frets, and you use your third finger to do that. So that would be, that has a really nice ring to it, right? And then when you get really good, you can just like start interleaving that more, and like kind of doing a double time thing in the left hand. So you go. Lead into the next section that we're going to do, which is C, right? So that's the lead into the next one. Anyway, so that's part B and part X. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.